father, who is generous and kind, does not consider my daughter, who is not biologically mine, to be a real grandchild, leaving her out. I never thought I'd be telling this story, but here we are. A couple of weeks ago, I found out my father doesn't consider my daughter, Lily, who isn't biologically mine, to be his real grandchild. This is the same man who has always been generous and kind, the one who'd give a stranger the shirt off his back. I was at a family barbecue and everyone was having a good time. My dad was talking to my brother Tom about the upcoming Christmas. Tom's kids were excitedly planning their wish lists, and Dad mentioned how he couldn't wait to spoil them. I casually asked, "What about Lily? What do you have in mind for her?" He looked at me dead serious and said, "Well, she's not really my grandchild, is she? I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Lily might not share my DNA, but she's my daughter in every way that counts. I've been raising her since she was 2, after her mom, my wife Sarah, passed away. It never crossed my mind that my father would see her differently." I walked away from the conversation, trying to hold back my tears. I found Lily playing with her cousins, completely oblivious to the bombshell I'd just received. I didn't know how to tell her. How could I explain that Grandpa didn't see her the same way he saw her cousins? Later that night, I confronted my dad. "Dad, what the hell was that about? Lily might not be my blood, but she's my daughter. How can you say she's not your grandchild?" He looked at me with a mix of pity and annoyance. "It's not the same, Jake. She's not our flesh and blood." The days following that conversation were hell. I couldn't look at my dad the same way. How could this man, who'd always been so kind and generous, be so cruel and heartless? I tried to distance myself, but the family gatherings kept happening, and the tension was unbearable. One Sunday, I couldn't take it anymore. We were all at my parents' house for dinner, and Dad started talking about taking Tom's kids on a special trip to Disneyland. Lily's face lit up, and she asked, "Can I come too, Grandpa?" Dad awkwardly cleared his throat and mumbled something about it being a special trip, just for the real grandkids. Lily's face fell, and I saw red. I stood up and shouted, "Are you fucking kidding me? She's standing right here. How can you be so damn heartless?" The room went silent. My mom looked like she was about to cry. Tom looked uncomfortable, and Dad just stared at me. Lily started crying, and Sarah, bless her soul, tried to comfort her. Dad had the nerve to say, "Jake, you're overreacting. She'll understand when she's older." Understand what, Dad? That her grandfather is a complete asshole? That he doesn't think she's worth his time or love because she doesn't share our DNA? Fuck that. I grabbed Lily and we left. The car ride home was silent, except for Lily's sniffles. I kept my eyes on the road, my knuckles white from gripping the steering wheel. I had to find a way to explain to her that none of this was her fault. It took a few days, but I sat down with Lily and explained the situation as gently as I could. She's a smart kid and handled it better than I expected. She said, "It's okay, Daddy. I know you love me, and that's all that matters." Her resilience floored me, but I knew I had to do more. I reached out to my mom and told her that until Dad could accept Lily as his grandchild, we wouldn't be coming to any more family gatherings. It's been tough. My dad hasn't reached out, and family dynamics have changed, but I'm standing my ground. Lily deserves better. She deserves to be loved unconditionally, and if my dad can't give her that, then he doesn't deserve to be in our lives. It's heartbreaking to realize that the man I looked up to my whole life isn't the man I thought he was. But for Lily, I'd move mountains. If that means cutting out toxic family members, so be it. Family isn't always about blood. It's about love, and Lily will always have all of mine.